Just got home with a Oklahoma Joe's drum smoker. Pretty good unit for $400, it seems like. Pretty heavy duty. I've been checking out the store for a while. Heavy duty lid, got a seal around the top. It's got an ash pan, sits in the bottom. Then another ring down there. And a cup that you can remove on the bottom of that. Then it has a charcoal basket. I'm getting ready to fire it up. And then it has a diffuser, and you can set it either way. And I'm probably next week, I've got some expanded metal, and I'm going to tie it into the bottom grate, extend it up, and you should be able to get, I've seen people get like 32-hour burn times with it. It's got a hook to lower the basket with down into the cooker. Then it also comes with sausage hooks or rib racks, whatever you want, hooks inside the smoker. It's got 3 of those, so you can easily get 9 to 12 slabs of ribs on there if you want. But then also, it's got a porcelain, it only comes with 1 porcelain grate, but I end up buying another Weber grate for 20 bucks to set on the second rack. They say you can grill on the second rack or smoke. It's more heat, but what I'm going to do is set like a thin pan down inside there on top of this rack and cook on the top rack, and to catch my drippings, because I mop a lot now, so I don't want all that. I don't mind some of the grease going down in there and burning on the coals, but I don't want, if I'm mopping a lot, I don't want all that gunk getting down there if I'm cooking chickens or something like that. But I'll be breaking this in pretty heavily. It's got a good handle on this side, dampener. Comes with another shelf over here. It's bolted on, and I put the paper towel holder on there with magnets. I've had them on all my other smokers and had some extra ones, so that worked out pretty good. But I'm gonna get this started up, and also before I do that, I'm gonna season this thing. Bought some olive oil, some cheap olive oil in a can. Spray it real lightly. Gonna kind of do the sides. This doesn't have to be perfect. And down, I'm not even going to go all the way to the bottom of it, because ashes just stick to it. This kind of protect the inside, and I'll do the grates when I go to put them on. That's good and seasoned, or that'll be good for the seasoning. All I'm going to do tonight is run it, learn where I can get it at 250, fill the charcoal basket up, and just let her go all night long and get the inside seasoned. Hopefully get something cooked on it tomorrow. I'll be back when I get this started up and start to get her dialed in. Okay, started up a mini charcoal chute with a few briquettes. I'm going to put them in the middle. Probably should have used just a few less, but I wanted to get this thing up to temp a little faster. Show you how this thing goes together. Got this hook to lower it down into the ash pan. Still gets pretty hot. Probably should use a glove. And like I said, you got this diverter. It goes in this way normal, but I'm gonna build a bigger basket next week, put it in that way, and I'll gain that much height for more charcoal. They say you can use the Pro Series basket, which gets you a 30-hour burn, but it's real expensive, so I'm going to try to do something with expanded metal. I'm going to season my other grate. Like I said, that's just going to be for catch my drippings on my heavy greasy stuff like chickens. And then that one sits on there like that. I'm going to open this thing up full till it gets around 200. Probably try to run. I used to have a drum, and I always ran my exhaust all the way open, and then closed off my exhaust stack or my intake stack and adjusted like there, just kind of like a stick burner. It always worked well on my drum. I don't know if it's going to work that way on this one or not, but it worked that way on the drum I made. I just didn't want to have to go try to find the drum now, and they're so expensive. Like last drum I found, that was, I always go new without the liner barrel, and they're running around $65, $75 now with the place I go to in Kansas City. But by the time I buy all the parts, the vents, and everything else, I'd have been almost as much as this. And like I said, as you can tell, this is heavy duty steel. I don't know what it is, what grade. It's probably at least, man, I don't know, 14 or 12, but I mean, it's real thick, so real strong shells. And like I said, this will get me by for now, and I still got my pellet smoker, but I still wanted to burn wood, which I'll be burning, lumping this thing, which that is wood, so, and I got wood chunks too, but just something a little different than the pellets. If I just like to play with stuff a little bit different, and I always like to have smokers. And like I said, this was $3.49, and I got another $20 in the other shelf, which it should come with the other shelf in my opinion. You know, they say you can just drop it and you can grill on it and take the diverter plate out, and then it's more like a grill. But I think it should have the second shelf. I mean, I don't cook with water, and I've seen some people do, but they put a water pan on it. They put an extra pan or a shelf in there, and they put a water pan in there, which I don't believe in it. I watched a guy do it last night on a video on YouTube, and the whole cup, he had so much moisture in the cooker, it filled the water cup, or the cup in the very bottom of the smoker where the vent is. It's a cup about like that you brush the ash out into, and then you empty it. But it was full of water, and it was running all over his driveway. And I've never believed in water in a pit. I've always had good results without it. But I'm going to be doing a lot of cooks this week, or this next week with it, and we'll see how it works out. But I'll be back in a little bit and see how this comes up to temp. And it's already 150. I'm going to try to dial it in for 250. And I'll probably do a few tonight just to make sure it's still staying at 250 and running steady. And like I said, I'm only doing a seasoning tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to try to cook some ribs or something. But I'll be back later on. Oh, one other thing. I found these in the bottom of the smoker, because I bought it from Academy. It was all put together, and they'd taken all the parts out. But besides those other hooks that slide down in 3 spots, they got actual stabbing hooks that hang on those. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of those, so you can get 9 slabs of ribs, or you probably almost get 2 slabs per each one. So you could probably do 18 slabs of ribs, but you'd have to hang them instead of putting them on the grate. But I didn't even see those in there till I was getting ready to fire it up. But it's an option, if you want to do a ton of ribs. This thing, it looks like it'll get the job done for a bunch of ribs too. So, but just thought I'd show you that. It does come with those too. But I'll be back in a little bit. This thing came up to temp fast with a half a deal of the small charcoal chute full of briquettes, and it came up to temp up to 250 degrees in 10 minutes. I swear to God, 10 minutes. And it is, like I said, I'm going to leave the exhaust wide open. It's just barely got a little bit of smoke. And I got the other exhaust that's set at 1. See if I can get it to focus in. It's set on 1, so it's just barely open, probably a 1/4 inch. But on the dial, it's reading right at 250. So I'm going to leave it set right here. And the metal's hot, so it should be good to go. And I'm going to come back and check it out later. I don't know if I'll do any more videos tonight, but let it run for a few hours and probably bump it up to 300, 325. I'm going to do this like I do with Shirley and let the paint cure. Do it slow and then bump it up, and then just going to leave it go tonight. So Tip's got a little bit away from me, climbed about 300, so I got the top stack open probably a 1/3, and the bottom one open maybe an 1/8 now. But it's running right at. Let me get my flashlight. Sorry, I'm not digging the big lights out tonight, but it's still running 250 now. But once it got total heated up, it got pretty hot, stoked it back down, and it's running fine. But what's kind of cool on this, and I didn't even notice, but the numbers on the gauges are lit up. It's kind of hard to tell. My camera's probably not going to do the focus thing right. But the dial and the numbers light up. I was going to buy another gauge. I was going to buy another gauge for it that's I can adjust and tell true. But I might just put my fireboard on it and then know where it's at from there to the grade above it. You know, and just go from there. Or I still may buy, I don't know. I really don't need a glow in the dark on this one, because once I set it and forget, I'll be cooking overnight a pork butt or something, just wake up the next morning and it'll be done. But just thought I'd come out one more time, and I'm going to bump the temps up a little bit and get it cured in with the seasoning I did. See what it looks like on the inside real quick. Looks pretty good. But I'll close this video out. Like I said, I really like the seal on the lid. It's like a neoprene or something. Seal's real good. I ain't seen no leaks anywhere. And a lot of people said to put barbecue gasket around where the barrels go together. But I'm not even going to do that. But I think it's a good buy for $3.49. It's better than any drum that you can make for that price. Not have to do all the work. But I'm going to close this thing out, bump the temps up, and go in and watch the game and let this go all night. Thanks for checking it out. And I'll be cooking. There'll be more videos in the next week. I'm going to do some chicken and some ribs and probably a pork butt overnight and see how that works out, and get some sleep and let her cook. Take care, everybody. God bless.